in general?
In general, where we can have esoteric teaching in that department.
Right.
But Chancellor Murugeshan said, and I also suggested it could be offered to the courses of esoteric teaching. The basic Ishopanishad and the Gita classes can be offered to every department on campus. It's applicable because they are a very strong Hindu organization. So they would welcome this idea.
Yeah, and it's English medium, right?
Yes.
That means all the classes are in English.
English.
So then Prabhupada's books would be the perfect syllabus. Yeah. Oh boy. This sounds like it's just Krishna's arrangement. Then, I mean, our whole program has been like this, where we'll just go someplace and we don't know anybody, and then, something will happen and we'll find just this perfect place, and, everything will work out. So up until now, we have sort of been incubating in isolation, and this represents our first really reaching out into a community. And it seems like, if this festival is any indication, that, it's going to really be wonderful for us. It's going to be like a whole new, it's like a coming out party, really, because up until now we've been so like off by ourselves somewhere in the woods, and now it's like we're coming out and we're actually meeting people and they like us. What do you know, man? So, I mean, the places we've been are places where people don't really understand what we're doing, and so we didn't have much scope for going out and socializing. But if we're in a place where there's lots of devotees and they want this kind of a program, and they already decided they want it, and they're just looking for basically somebody to fill their need. It's like, here we are, ready. And looks like Krishna's got us all set up. So, I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank my students, my disciples. They have made it possible for us to do so many things that I couldn't have done all on my own. The devotees are doing so much service and so much austerity. I mean, we joke about the austerity, but it's real sometimes, Those cold mornings up in the mountains, oh boy, yeah. So, you wake up and there's frost on the blanket, it's like, it's a little austere. But then what makes up for it is that we have built a really excellent camaraderie and good spirits, excellent relationships amongst ourselves, each other in the ashram. And that makes a very strong foundation for us to build on, and we can bring more devotees into that. I don't feel wiped out like I did after, last year's initiation, Last year I was like, I was in bed for 3 days after initiation, but this year it's like, oh, that was easy, that was a breeze. So I think we're going to attract very qualified students, and to make this same program available through a recognized institution. I mean, it's like a dream. No devotees anywhere in the world, at least in Prabhupada's movement, have done this. They haven't been able to do it because of the how can I say, well, bad reputation that they have themselves created in the public. So by, the long-term value of differentiating ourselves from ISKCON and taking pains to show a different style and a different approach is paying off in terms of credibility and the ability to work with established, accredited organizations, professionals, and it shows that this policy was actually a good idea, even though it was very difficult to implement in the beginning because nobody had ever done this before. Nobody had ever tried to not be a clone of ISKCON, but to do something fundamentally different style, more in my opinion, a more intelligent style, more aimed at the intelligent class of people, the kind of organization that I would want to be a member of. You know, because I found ISKCON very uncomfortable from the very beginning. And the things that I found uncomfortable are exactly what led to the way we structure our group. Is kind of a reaction against those things. So I was very consciously striving to make an atmosphere where an intelligent person would feel comfortable, at ease, you know. Because of course the first thing that an intelligent person wants is the recognition that they are intelligent and that they should have some autonomy, they should have some privacy, they should have the ability to think for themselves and implement solutions according to their own intelligence. Otherwise, what's the use of being intelligent? So that's the first thing. And then the other thing is that we have tried very hard to create a mood of strong integrity. That if we say something, then that's what we do. That we keep our promises and that we fulfill our obligations to our students to take care of them and keep them, maintain them nicely, give them the facility that they need. Like in India, of course, we're going to have, you know, almost like a consulting Ayurvedic doctor on call, because you know, the first little indication of any bad health, you immediately have to treat it, or it will get out of control. So, especially the first year that you're in India or so, you have to be very, very observant of health issues. So we're going to do that, and we're also going to make sure that our monks get all the training that they need, you know, to come up to speed on the Vedic arts and like that. And of course, bottom line, the last thing, and in many ways the most important thing, is that we're going to continue to have fun. Because if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. So if I don't want to do it, then who else? How can I convince anybody else? So yeah, we will continue to, you know, it's serious fun. That's, Prabhupada used to say, serious but jolly. In other words, our purpose is very serious. Our principles are very strong. We stand up for we're not afraid to take a position and accept the consequences of that position because it's based on Vedas and absolute truth and like that. But at the same time, we're lighthearted in our daily dealings. And if somebody wants to make a joke at dinner time, it's not a problem. You know, we all laugh and enjoy it. You know, so you know, even when I'm in a cranky mood, it's actually because I'm trying to make a point for the disciples' long-term benefit. That, you know, you should work this way. You should work, if you do anything, do it in a very professional way. You know, if you're going to take on a piece of work, then make sure you finish it. Make sure you get the result. And if you don't, and if you have a problem you can't solve, then you should come to me and we'll work it out. You know, so I'm always available to the members of the group to consult with them, help them, you know, to bring my experience to bear on anything they're having trouble with. You all know that. So there's no question about these values. I think it's been proven now sufficiently that they work and that we have a system that is going to withstand scrutiny. Because if we're working in a college, university environment, we're going to be under the microscope, or at least a magnifying glass. And of course, there's always going to be people criticizing and trying to find fault if we're in a public position. But I think that we are now, you know, sufficiently strong that we can go through that and not have to. I don't have to worry, you know, that we're going to do something silly. You know, I'm not worried. I'm absolutely unworried, which is something for me. I'm always the guy who's up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, going, oh, what if this happens? What if they do that? You know. So, really, I mean, but now I'm like, horrible. It's like Krishna is really, I think he wanted to reassure me that what we're doing is the right thing. And this experience at this festival has been a big part of that. You know, because whenever you do something that's new and different, you think, you take your best shot, but because of the limitations of human intelligence, you never really know. You know, you think you have a good idea, but until you actually test it out and get the results, you don't know 100% for sure. Prabhupada always said, judge by the result. And I have to say that I'm very, very pleased with